Evening. It's been eventful for me already. I've just discovered that there's a code to the dressing room door, but only found out after I'd shut the door with all my stuff inside it.
Security around here, mate.
Yeah.
She's waiting to be there.
You can trust them to link nothing, can you? So I found it totally intriguing because the code was on the door handle, it wasn't a pad. So I couldn't work out how to get in because I'd never come across one on a handle before. But that's me and technology, but I'll talk about technology a bit more in a moment. First thing that got me about writing in dialect was where dialect stopped and words that were only used in our house began. You know, you sort of think, is that a common word or is it something my granddad made up? So you start to use them, and it's only after a while that you begin to realise which ones are which. And you sort of say something in all innocence that you think everybody must understand, and they all look at you blankly, completely blankly, because it was something your granddad made up when he had a few. And everybody in the family accepted that as being the word for something. But you go outside and nobody has the faintest idea what going on. So I don't know how common some of these words are for other regions, but round here, belloc means to belch, and wazzing is this, the gullet. The wazzing is the gullet. There was a gentleman known as the Tipton Slasher. Now, if you've never heard of him, that could create some incredible images in your mind. But he was the All England bare knuckle boxing champion from, he says, checking quickly, 1950, yeah, he would be, wouldn't he? 1850 to 1857. And as his name says, he came from Tipton, and the slasher bark was because of the way he fought. He was a bargee, worked on the canals and was very successful because the way that you got your load through the locks before everybody else was beating 7 bells out of the bloke who got the boat in front of you. So he was very successful in getting his boats through. But while he was training to be the boxer, the story goes that one day he'd been to Wolverhampton, he was coming back to Tipton, he stopped for a drink in a pub and had a quart of ale. Big man, big thirst. Had a quart of ale, took a sip, put it down on the bar, looked around, had to go and answer a call of nature in the toilets out the back of the pub. When he came back in, his beer glass was empty. Somebody's just drunk the beer of the All England bare knuckle boxing champion. The man is not well pleased. And he looks around the room and he says, "The fust and belloc are bust." I turned me back. I turned back round. Me quart of ale's now gone, and me pot stands mutely on the bar. It's grieving me. Yet I know damn well that much unbrewed, when guzzled down in one, will rise back up the wazzing and struggle to get free. So the fust and the belloc are bust. Then the phone rang. But just as in here, the room went deadly quiet. And it's never been written down who was the first person to belch in that room, so the story has no ending. That was first written, it's in this book, Blackwood to Dialectics now, it was first written as a commission for that well-known literary journal, the Camera Good Beer Guide. I said I'd talk about technology a bit more. Some of you, like me, might spend an awful lot of time on a computer, writing, doing jobs for other people, what have you. But a lot of people find it difficult getting to grips with computers. This is called a Black Country Guide to Computers. Computer jargon. When I was a kid, hardware were buckets. were galvanised bats, besoms and brooms and patent mouse traps hung from the ceiling and the pavements adorned. What is it now? It's a TV screen with an hole in to shove in a disc. And software? Well, I suppose it's a clown suit. Had a bikini in a blizzard. You can't get much softer than that. Bytes. Beware of the stuffer. Megabytes. Beware of the Rottweiler. RAM. Woolly thing with horns. ROM. The right road to pronouncing RAM. Interface. What Daniel did in the lion's den. Went interface the lions. Computer jargon. And it does. It jars on the brain like 15 pints a mile. A local drink. Dropping back into the folklore, there's a story in Gornal of people putting a pig on a wall to watch a band go by. And everybody in Gornal will tell you, yes, they put the pig on the wall to watch the band go by, but nobody ever says why they put the pig on the wall to watch the band go by. The reason for this is because the pig was put on the wall, but it wasn't put on the wall in Gornal, unfortunately. It was actually put on the wall in Dorley. And the reason was to watch the band that was walking past to celebrate Captain Matthew Webb swimming across the channel. However, that does not stop it being a good story in Gornal. And like all folklore, it doesn't have to be based on an awful lot of truth. But thinking about that pig sat on the wall, and thinking of the only other person I can think of in story who sat on a wall, this is the story of Humpty Dumpty as told by a pig sat on an adjacent wall. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. His mother said, "You'll catch jinkles if you don't watch out. Get up off them cold bricks." Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. His mother said, "Serves you right. I ain't got no sympathy. It ain't no use come crying to me." All the king's horses and all the king's men, you needn't think they're going to help you out, his mother. Whom you think you're helping? Just think they're not better to do. Get up off the floor, you'll be rippy. And wipe your face, you've got egg on it. That came out of a series that I nursery rhymes I rewrote because I had to go into a school and do dialect work with kids, and I thought most of the stuff I do is going to either go over their heads or something, so I'll rewrite traditional nursery rhymes. Unfortunately, they didn't know any traditional nursery rhymes. One of the other ones I did was Dr. Fell. Does anybody know Dr. Fell? I mean, not personally, but you know the rhyme Dr. Fell. It went once upon a time like, "I do not like thee, Dr. Fell. The reason why I cannot tell, but this I know and know full well. I do not like thee, Dr. Fell." Translated, it went something like this. "I don't like you, Dr. Fell. I don't know why, and I can't say, but I've got this feeling it won't go away. I don't like you, and that's it." There was, in Black Country Fairgrounds, hard. You can't call it a sport, you can't call it a game. Pastime it certainly was. Barrel fighting. Now this isn't where you sort of fight a barrel. This is where you have 2 beer barrels, the top's knocked out. You stand a bare knuckle boxer in each one and bet on it. The person who wins the purse is the last one standing. Now remember, these are in proximity of what, a foot apart, something like that? And you can just imagine people coming out the pub, and like in wrestling rings, there'd be a professional in there who looked like they couldn't fight anybody. So folks would come out the pub and the mates would say, "Go on, you can do it." And they'd get all geared up and they'd go in and they'd fight in this barrel and get knocked to hell. So this is actually a piece about friendship as much as anything else. So let me try and set a fairground atmosphere. Do you feel like we're in a fairground yet? Oh, good. One person who's susceptible if nothing else. I was standing in a barrel, blood all round me head. In swam the bell of the carousel and the baited bear was dead. I said his face, I said the mate ball swaying, I said his face been bast. Stand still, you sod, I'll get you. But the world spun round too fast. Me face was busted open, me body stiff and sore. With one more punch he could win the bus, and the crowd cried out for more. We both needed the money. You'd order this for fun. So we pulled ourselves together to try for a final run. I hit him, and he hit me. We git and took we all. We arms went limp. We muscles stopped, and together we did fall. Now the way to come is quite a shock when they dip the bucket up. The world was blurred, but I heard him say, "Ah, kid, we wish you luck." The bus is still a-standing, 'cause neither on you won. So we've said you'll carry on now, kid, and sent word you'll be let on. Concerned to the last. Right, you've heard already about people leaving this area for the States. People from all across Western Europe left for the States. And we've got this image of what the Wild West was like. Well, the one I've got comes from watching TV as a kid, I suppose, where everybody spoke in a sub-John Wayne accent. Only this week has the story come out of this second picture to be found of Billy the Kid, where instead of leaning on a rifle like he's in the first one, he's playing croquet. Which kind of changes the image you have of the Wild West a little bit. Tupperware parties perhaps in Tombstone. But when I was thinking about this, I thought, okay, you'd get on the boat at this side and you'd speak like this, because a lot of folk from round here went. Wyatt Earp was descended from folks who left this very town. John Wesley Harding was descended from Hardings the bakers in Stourbridge, and there's others. But if they spoke like this when they got on the boat, excuse me, but they spoke like this when they got off the boat, wouldn't they? There is some line up the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, the international accent line. And on this side you're speaking like this, and when you cross it, you start to speak like this, you know? No, it does not work. People would band together and they keep speaking the same way. Just as you've got enclaves in New York now, 20th, 10th, 15th century Jewish people who still speak with an accent. They'd take their culture, they'd celebrate their cultures up and around here. They'd take faggots and peas, bags of scratchings, pints of mild, and they'd celebrate them in Dodge City on a Saturday night. So this is how I think Dodge City on a Saturday night really was. It's a cowboy out for them at the back. Oreo! I'm calling you out!
Saturday night in Dodge City, and Billy the Kid is angry.
A pint of mild in a bag of scratchings, love.
One foaming jug whizzing along the polished bar top. One foaming jug stopped by the hand of Billy the Kid. He sucks the froth between the remnants of his teeth and waits. And waits. And waits.
Where's me scratchings?
We ain't got no scratchings.
What do you mean, no scratchings?
We ain't seen Jabez for weeks. Out in the wilderness, Jabez Taylor, doctor, self-styled, whistled as he wielded a spluttering skillet over an open fire.
Hurry up with them strips of skin, when's the bonds hot? What is it, any road or back or cut it? It's surely a god pig. Couldn't get no pig. It's buffalo. They won't know the difference.
Dr. Jabez Taylor's medicine show and scratching wagon read the sign on the side of the covered wagon. Come you people, gather round. Jabez Taylor's back in town. In this bottle, what I'm holding here is Dr. Jabez Taylor's Wonder Potion, guaranteed without argument to cure the human body of coughs, colds, piles, and to bring back childlike smiles to the depressed and woe-begotten, containing over 100 different herbs. And here's it told as a round off road across these plains and prairies. From them is a come, from the places was home, to me parents, me uncles, me aunties, as Jabez Taylor had to flee from the Tipton Wakes one year and take the first boat across the sea, said Billy the Kid to his beer. "Tell what's fretting over," said Billy the Kid, drinking alone at the bar. "Tell what's fretting over, no scratchings. Give another mild." The Joannie jingled in the corner. "Have you got any crisps?" "No." So Walter Raleigh pinched all the taters. "Says if I really wanted any. It's only force of habit. Give another mild." Doc Holliday dealt another hand of crib. Oh, damn it. I'm off to find me that Jabez Taylor. And when I find him, there ain't nothing is I ain't gonna do to him. But just then, the swing doors swung. And through them strode a hawker. Cockles, mussels, whelks. The folk could hardly believe their eyes. 'Twas Jabez Taylor in another guise. "Oi, you! I'm calling you out!" Bang! Gives another mile. Finish with this then. If you want to get any more of that, there's where Billy's sitting over there, there's the book Black Country Dialectics, which actually has a CD in the back. So if you can't read Black Country Dialect, you can hear it. If you can't make head and tail of it when you hear it, you can read it. All bases covered. No excuse for not buying a copy. Before the rail lines all came to have one gauge,
As you all know, there were three competing gauges. It's rather like the VHS Betamax wars. Something had to win, or Sky BSB. And the people were very competitive about whose gauge was going to win, because they were going to put the others out of business and get those routes. I came across a railway company called the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway Company. I did for a while wonder why, if you wanted to get from Oxford to Wolverhampton, you went via Worcester. It seemed like a bit of a long way around. I do now know it's too long a story to tell you. But like many of these old railway companies, the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton had a nickname. It was known as the Old Worse and Worse. I presume that's from WRCS Worcester. And it sort of went out down the south of Stratford, Honeybourne way, out that way to Worcester, and then came back up Starbridge, and it actually looped around where the Black Country Museum is. Part of the line is at the back of where the Black Country Museum is, up to Wolverhampton. I thought that by the time the Old Worse and Worse got to Wolverhampton, it would no longer be known as the Old Worse and Worse. It would have been localised, and it would be called the Old Wuss and Wuss. So this is a sort of all English train blues called the Old Wuss and Wuss. And it's got audience participation in it. I was stood at Starbridge Junction late now for a function in Wolverhampton, feeling so forlorn. I said, "Tell me, where's my train?" They shrugged, trying to explain the wheel came off somewhere near Honeybourne. Wait enough to make you spit, enough to make you cuss. Waiting for a train on the Old Wuss and Wuss. Enough to make you spit, enough to make you cuss. Waiting for a train on the Old Wuss and Wuss. I'd got a friend in Jericho I thought to pay a visit to again, the dreaming spies of Oxford town. I saw a sign for Whitby, but before I knew it hit me, I was somewhere up near Stratford on a bus. Wise enough to make you spit, enough to make you cuss. Waiting for a train on the Old Wuss and Wuss. Enough to make you spit, enough to make you cuss. Waiting for a train on the Old Wuss and Wuss. On Worcestershire Station, another blooming lake from the Warno Road is hard get on that night. I said, "Tell me why this time?" They said, "The sauce upon the line." The sauce upon the line. Wise enough to make you spit, enough to make you cuss. Waiting for a train on the Old Wuss and Wuss. Enough to make you spit, enough to make you cuss. Waiting for a train on the Old Wuss and Wuss. From the Oxford up to the Wolf Run down, the way of the Seven Board. The points are disappointed. You hear the sleepers snore. This is the audience participation bit. Snore. Louder. Well done. Wise enough to make you spit, enough to make you cuss. Waiting for a train on the Old Wuss and Wuss. Enough to make you spit, enough to make you cuss. Waiting for a train on the Old Wuss and Wuss.
Thank you for listening.